Welcome to the Business at the Speed of Sell podcast, where you learn how to accelerate the growth of your online and offline businesses, profits, and personal income. Tune in daily to get the tips, tricks, and tactics that have generated over $100 million in online and offline sales. Now, here's your host, Anthony Flatt.
This is Anthony Flatt, and you're listening to the Business at the Speed of Sell podcast. Today, we're going to talk about being bold, standing out, and being yourself. This is something that I've learned over a long period of time. Growing up, I said in a previous podcast that my mom died when I was 7, and I was raised by my stepfather, who was a professional gambler. And I believe he probably had a good heart, and I made it, and I'm alive today, and I'm successful today, and maybe he played a little part in that. But he was always kind of telling a different story to different people, kind of a government thing, I think, as well. They call it departmentalization. They tell everybody just what little bit they need to hear. And growing up, that was really difficult for me to understand why is a story one way with this person and a different way with somebody else. And so, I struggled with that. I struggled with kind of, do I be real? Do I tell people the unfiltered truth about what's going on or who I am or what the situation is? Or do I sugarcoat it and make it more palatable for the person I'm delivering that to? And I dabbled with that kind of in my high school years, telling the colored truth, telling people basically what they wanted to hear. And people like that. People want to hear that everything's going to be fine and that they don't need to do anything and you're fine right where you are. No pressure, no challenge. But that's just not reality. And as I got older, I kind of came into this where it's really difficult for me to remember what I said and how I said it and who I said it to. So early in my 20s, I just kind of came around and I was reading a lot of Anthony Robbins books and a lot of self-help books during that time. And I just kind of came to the conclusion that no matter what happens in my life and my career, I'm just going to say it how it is. And if that costs me money, if that costs me business, if that costs me jobs, if that costs me relationships, then that's just going to be the way it's going to be. And when I made that decision, it made me a lot happier person, because I didn't have to worry about what I was going to say. Yes, I had to worry about how the person was going to react to it. But honestly, if I say something to you and I offend you, I would hope that you would tell me that I offended you. And I may or may not try to change the way I said it or the way I thought it. I mean, ultimately, I'm pretty unfiltered. So what I say is going to be the way I'm thinking. So you usually have to ponder around and say, I wonder what Anthony is thinking, because you're going to hear it. Just ask me a question. Please don't ask me if your butt looks big in that dress. Please don't, especially if it does, because you're going to get the answer you don't want to hear. So be bold, stand out, but be yourself and be real. And when I was doing the planning for this podcast and I was thinking about my businesses, and I've got a lot of successes in life, but I've not gotten them easily. I've not taken the normal path. And so I struggled with, do I tell people that? Do I tell people about my failures? Do I tell people that I've really struggled, that I've had a lot of times where it's been 3 steps forward and 2 steps back? And ultimately, I came to the conclusion that you're going to listen to my podcast, you're going to buy my products, you're going to relate to me, or you're not. And I'm probably not for everybody. And some people are going to really identify with what I have to say, and some people aren't. But I'm not going to mix it up. I'm not going to try to be something I'm not. I'm not going to try to be somebody I'm not. So I encourage you to do the same. For me, it's a fulfilling way to live. Yes, I do have people that don't get me, that get offended, especially when they first meet me. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said it that way. I can't believe he's using those words. I can't believe he really sold $100 million worth of products and he uses slang words and doesn't use proper English and whatever. Life is what life is. And I am very comfortable being me. And you should be very comfortable being you. And if you are and you're genuine, people will see through that. And if you screw up some words and you mess up and you offend somebody, they will get over it or they won't, and life will continue on. Some of my best friends started out in life really not liking me very much because they said, hey, how do I do this? And I told them, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And they walked away going, man, that's a lot of work. That's going to be hard. I didn't tell them what they wanted to hear. But then they went and did those things, and I helped them do those things, and we moved forward. And now they know that I am not the guy that you want to come talk to if you need a hug, if you need a morale boost. I'm the guy you want to talk to if you need somebody in the ditch, dig in the ditch with you. If you're in battle and you need somebody to cover your back, that's me. I'm going to be there no matter what. You can't say anything that's going to offend me to the point that I'm not going to come back. And if you offend me, by the way, I will definitely tell you that I'm offended and why I'm offended. And that's my right to be offended. And it's your right to care or not care about it. I'm offended oftentimes that other people are offended. So that's just the way we are. But if you try to be something you're not, you're going to lose track of which person you're trying to be. And I know a lot of people do that. I know there's a lot of phonies out there that they're living in a shack, but yet when they get ready to do their videos, they put on the best suit that they could possibly get, and they put the picture just so that it looks like they've got this big mansion, and they tell you how they've got all these cars and all this stuff, and they don't have it. Look, I don't live in a big mansion. I live in a very normal neighborhood. We have 2 very normal cars. I have my cars paid for. My home is almost paid for. I have very low debt, but I don't live the rich and famous lifestyle, and I don't need to. My kids get what they need. My family gets what they need. I take care of them. We live a very rich and productive life. And that's the way I choose to live. Some people want to live in the condo on the beach and have the sports car, and that's what they put all their money into. That's not what I choose to. And I'm going to tell people that. And you need to as well. Whatever you are, if you like something, let people know. If you don't like something, let people know. You just can't go around in life worrying about what other people think. Just be you and be honest and natural. And if you're a giving person, and you're out there helping and you're improving the world and you're helping people improve their lives, that is all that matters.
If you have a question for Anthony, then head over to www.anthonyflatt.com and leave him a voicemail message for a chance to have your question featured on the show. Thanks for listening to the Business at the Speed of Sell podcast at www.businessatthespeedofsell.com.